Okay, my name is Megan Zappulla. Today I'm going to be talking about education in Nevada, specifically Clark County School District, what Clark County School District looks like, why it's failing, and what I think will fix it. I'm a 36-year-old mother of 2 children here in Las Vegas. They both attend school. I'm also a teacher at Henderson International School. I think that these things classify me as somewhat of an expert in the subject, so I'm going to give you my thoughts. Clark County School District is the 5th largest district in the United States of America. They are also ranking dead last for public school systems. How do you become last, you ask? Well, there's about 4 main topics that experts say are the reasoning behind this. One is funding. Our funding plan is 50 years old. So we're working with paying our teachers, educating our children with a plan that was written over 50 years ago. It's also a fast-growing population here in Las Vegas, so we have a lot of overcrowding in our schools, kids in portables, stuff like that, that makes it difficult to keep up with the amount of people moving to Las Vegas. We have cheap housing here, so we have no state tax, and this is why we have too many kids for the amount of schools that we have. Half the children in Nevada actually meet the federal poverty standards. So this means that half the kids that go to school here in Las Vegas, they qualify for special funding to help them just live. So these types of kids make it difficult to teach. Sometimes parents are working 2 jobs and not very consistent at home, and so the kids don't have the same home input as other kids do in the more affluent areas in town. We need qualified teachers. The reason why we're having trouble getting qualified teachers is because we have kids that don't have the parent involvement, and it's hard when you want to pay teachers already what is considered a very poor salary, the same amount of money as somebody who's working half as hard. It turns into kind of somewhat of an issue because we can't have the draw for good teachers to come work in the valley when we're not paying them, and the clientele is very difficult. I'd like to give you a little bit of background from myself and my 2 children who, when they became school age appropriate to go to school, I toured our local school that was in our zone that we were zoned for, and when I went there I was highly disappointed because what I found was the student to teacher ratio was 28-1, so lots of kids inside of a classroom with only 1 teacher. There were some qualified teachers in the school, however it was a crapshoot as to whether or not you were going to actually get the good teacher or not. So I went back to the drawing board and I did a little more research, and I found a school that was close to my neighborhood, not in my zone. I applied for a zone variance, and my oldest daughter, who had gone to preschool for 2 years prior to going to kindergarten, I got her a zone variance to go to that school. So we rolled the dice, we got a great teacher, and she started school. And it was about 6 months in when I realized that she was literally sitting idle, teaching herself because she was part of a high ability group inside of the class. And I noticed that the teacher was giving the kids with the low ability group a lot of attention. So I inquired about why she was doing that, and I learned about what's called the No Child Left Behind Act. So basically this act says that you have to teach to the lower ability group first to bring them up to the standard, the national standard of the age group. And once you get those kids to that level, then you can move on to teach your higher ability group. So I realized that this was clearly not going to work for my daughter, and that was the last year we spent in public school because I couldn't take the risk of not having the ability to get a great teacher and get a good learning environment for my daughters. So I've made the very difficult choice of putting my children in private school, and it has been very costly to our family. However, it was the best solution for us. So here's what I think that we can do to fix this problem. I think that being the 5th largest district in the country is a severe problem. I think if we broke down that big district into smaller districts where the neighboring community could be more involved in their own district, and then the other districts that don't have the means and support that some higher affluent districts do, the state could diversify more funds to help pay for the lower income districts to be more thriving. That's one way that I think that we can fix it. And then obviously, no brainer is to have a better funding plan with better compensation for teachers. We have to be able to draw better teachers to come to Nevada, and I think that a new funding plan will make that problem obviously not as difficult as it is now. Thank you.